Okay, good morning, everyone. We are going to call the February 18th, 2020 Charter Authorizing Panel meeting to order. Thank you for all being here. We have a few members missing today, but we do have Dr. Williams with us by phone, and we have Ms. Newton, Mr. Rogers, and Dr. Kramer's here for the meeting. So before we get started with our consent agenda, I was going to see if any of our members had any updates they wanted to report or share anything, any visits that they've done or any information. Okay, so seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on to the approval of the consent agenda. We have our minutes from our December meeting on the consent agenda, so if you've had time to review those, I will entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, the consent agenda is approved, so we will go ahead and move on to our action agenda today. And Ms. Webb, I believe, will present our first action agenda item.
Good morning, Tracy Webb, Charter Office. The first item on the agenda is the open enrollment charter application. So the application has been updated with, of course, the new years. The questions have remained the same on the application. The only thing we've changed is the format. So in the past, we've had the CERT committee or any feedback that was given from ADE units was recorded in there, and then the responses from the applicant were also recorded. Or sometimes it was put on a separate sheet and not recorded within the document. So what we're trying to do is just make this a very clean document, so when they come to you and to the state board, that you know exactly what they're asking for. It doesn't have all the back and forth in it. So that's what we hope to do.
Okay, do any panel members, do you have any questions about the application or any of the changes made? I did want to ask a question because I know a few times over the last year, some of the, when we've gotten the applications, there have been several unresolved issues, and even to the point where we've actually had maybe legal come up and try to clear up all the concerns before we even got into questions for the applicant. Do you think that this process is going to assist with that, or are there any other considerations or recommendations that we might be able to consider? Because I think probably everyone has been frustrated at times. I know even in one meeting, Ms. Newton just, we went ahead and decided we needed to not go on with consideration because the application itself,
Sure.
and I know the work that your team puts into it, so I'm wanting to know how we might help.
Our goal this year is to meet with those applicants individually instead of just doing that through email, sending the information back and forth, where sometimes really what the meaning is not conveyed 100%. So we hope to have a meeting with each one of those applicants for open enrollment and district conversion to go over all that feedback from ADE units and discuss that with legal involved. So that way, you know, we get to work with them one-on-one and it's not back and forth in an email or a text.
Okay. Any other comments or thoughts about that? Okay. Okay. Well, if there aren't any questions or discussion, I guess we would need to make a motion to approve the updated application.
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
Do I have a motion?
I do. I move to approve.
Okay. I have a motion from Ms.
Second.
Newton. Second from Dr. Williams. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
The application has been accepted for the 2020. That was for the open enrollment. Okay, so item number 2 then.
So same thing with the district conversion charter application. The questions have remained the same. It's just the format that has changed. And so again, we will, our intention is to meet with each of those applicants individually prior to coming to the CAT meeting so that we can discuss all the feedback from ADE units as well as legal.
Okay. Any questions or discussion on that topic? All right, if not, we can have a motion to approve.
I move to approve the district conversion application.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Those 2 items have been approved. So we are at number 3, an amendment request for Hawes Hall Academy. Ms. Hyatt, you're recognized.
Mary Claire Hyatt with the division. We received notice from Haas Hall this morning that they wish to pull their amendment request from the agenda for consideration today. So they're not here. It doesn't take a motion or anything, but since we didn't have time to update the agenda, it'll be pulled and we'll notify the panel if they resubmit it for a future date.
Okay, so we are moving on to item number 4, which is a amendment request from Hot Springs Junior High Academy. Ms. McLaughlin, you are recognized.
Thank you. Kelly McLaughlin with the Charter Office. Our action item 4 is Hot Springs Junior Academy. On October 21st, 2016, the Charter Authorizing Panel approved the application for Hot Springs Junior Academy. It is approved to serve students in grades 7 and 8 with a maximum enrollment of 600. We do have representatives of Hot Springs Junior Academy appearing before the Charter Authorizing Panel to request an amendment to the current charter. Just as a reminder, they will have 20 minutes to make their presentation. If there is any opposition, they also have 20 minutes, and then the district has 5 minutes for a rebuttal. We do have Taryn Eccles, Assistant Superintendent, and Natasha Lennox, Principal, here, and you will want to swear them in.
Okay, so will all representatives of the charter and anyone speaking in opposition please stand to receive the oath. If you will raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay. You go ahead and come on up. You have 20 minutes to make your presentation. And if you'll state your name and title for the record, you'll be recognized.
Sure. I'm Taryn Eccles, Assistant Superintendent, Hot Springs School District. And I have with me, there she is, Natasha Lennox, Principal, Hot Springs Junior Academy. And so our amendment request today comes for grade configurations. Currently, the Junior Academy campus serves grades 7 and 8. We passed a millage in 2016, and we are nearing the end of our completion of all the projects for that millage. Part of that millage was a 7, 8, 9 Junior Academy campus. And so what we're asking for to the current Junior Academy conversion charter is to change the grade configuration from 7, 8 to 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12 will stay with our Hot Springs World Class High School. They will move from 9, 12 to 10, 11, and 12. Our goal in the district is for all of our students to leave with a value-added diploma, and we feel that moving our students 3 on one campus and 3 on another campus will better help us serve our students that we have currently.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Okay. And there's not anyone here in opposition, is there? Okay. All right. So if you're ready for questions, we
Sure.
can go ahead. Ms. Hyde, is there anything that you need us to consider before questions?
It's nothing big. I accidentally omitted the desegregation analysis from the agenda, so I have copies for everyone. There were no concerns, but because you're required to look at that if they're adding a campus, I have it for you, so I'm gonna pass it out to you guys, but no concerns from me.
Okay, thank you. Well, let's start with questions. Ms. Newton, do you have any questions
No, I don't.
for the district? Mr. Rogers? Okay. Dr. Kramers, do you have any questions? Okay. Dr. Williams?
Yes, I do. This is more just to get the just a little background in the thinking. I noticed the recent trend has been for high schools to, at least here in Northwest Arkansas, to move the 9th grade to the high school, to that campus. And I noticed this is kind of, I think this is a good move. A lot of times the enrollment is based on facilities drive that sometimes. What is the thought process behind shifting, let me get this right now, it's moving the 9th grade down to the junior high, whereas a lot of times the shift has been having the 9th grade on the high school campus?
So the good thing about our conversion charters is the location of the new junior academy campus is adjacent to the high school. So the students really will have a fluid opportunity to move from campus to campus as ninth graders. We do have several students that are going to be enrolled in our IB diploma program and our MYP program. And so those students will take courses still at the high school campus. Some of our PE courses and elective courses will be offered at our high school campus. So the grade configuration will be 7-9, but students will be able to take courses at our high school. So what we're planning here is kind of what in terms will be a super campus. Grades 7 through 12 will be adjacent to each other, but ninth grade students will have the ability to be fluid across both campuses.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Eccles, is, so it looks like the ninth grade is really the one that will see
Yes,
the
ma'am.
biggest change.
Yes, ma'am.
Going from, strictly being high school to the junior high. Are there any other, kind of big changes that the ninth graders will see? Are there like any different supports that'll be put in place for them?
We are going to make sure that we do a really good job of educating our ninth grade students that will be ninth graders next year about what it means to be a ninth grader, because oftentimes when you go to a high school campus that starts with 10th grade, sometimes that ninth grade misses out on the credit pieces and the important pieces of what happens to your transcript when you actually become a ninth grader. So we are going to add some additional supports from our current high school counseling staff to help train and support our 2 counselors at our junior academy to make sure that they're fully supportive of what needs to happen to the ninth graders on that campus. We also are adding some additional pieces during the enrichment time that they currently have on the schedule. It's 2 days, 45 minutes a day that both of our campuses have an enrichment time, but we're going to add some pieces at the ninth grade level to make sure that we provide wraparound supports for our ninth grade students.
Okay, all right. I've been able to see the construction so far, so it looks pretty impressive.
It's
I'm not sure
very
which
impressive.
campus that I was really looking at, but it's really
They're right
exciting
beside
to see.
each other.
So.
I looked at the last construction report over the weekend, and they're pretty much almost done with the classroom wing of the building. It's 3-story. We actually have kind of a model class in there where there's a partition in between the second level and the third level, and so they can team teach 2 classes at one time. So we'll really be able to do some cross-curricular instruction on that campus. So we're very excited about it, very, very excited for our students to have the opportunity to have a new building. I'm very excited for Ms. Lennox to open a new campus because it's very rare that you get the opportunity to do that in education, to open new buildings. So very excited for our community and our students.
Okay. Panel members, any other questions?
Just another thought. Given the proximity of the 2 campuses, the lower grades will be clearly delineated from the high school. There won't be any. I know you mentioned that the ninth grade would be able to go back and forth, which makes sense. One of the courses there'll be. But since that's the what's the grade level? 7 through 9. Will it be pretty clear that the 7th and 8th grade would be separated from the high school?
Yes, sir. The way that they've done the building is 7th grade is going to be on the top floor, 8th grade primarily is going to be on the 2nd floor, and our 9th grade classes on the junior academy building are located on the bottom floor, and so they will have access to the high school. But 7th and 8th graders won't have that same access.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one other follow-up. What's the total enrollment between the 2 buildings?
Oh, total enrollment between the 2 buildings will be about 1,200 to 1,300.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Ms. Hyatt?
Mary Claire Hyatt with the division. Just one thing I forgot to say while I was up here. On the junior academy's request, one of the things that they've listed is a continued waiver of oral communications paired with civics. I believe that's a course embedding, and that's done through an approval process through Mr. Coy's office. So that wouldn't be a waiver in the traditional sense that we're thinking about. That's just the approval through Mr. Coy's office. So I don't think that it needs to be listed on the amendment request today, since they have that approval through a separate avenue. So if we could, if I'm understanding correctly, then if we could just remove that from this amendment request.
Okay. Can you confirm if you're willing to do that? I'm having trouble getting my application packet to pull up. I've had trouble with my internet today. So were there any other, like, new waivers that were on there?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So will you all pursue the embedded
Yes.
course through?
Yes, ma'am. We have it right now in ninth grade. It's a course called Citizenship Seminar. And
Okay.
so it's a semester course where students get their ORCOM and civics credit through that half-semester course. And so we do plan on continuing to offer that with our ninth grade students at the Junior Academy.
Okay, so you do not need a waiver from offering that course, correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So if there's no other questions, then if we have a motion to approve the amendment request.
So move.
Okay, motion by Dr. Williams. Second by Mr. Rogers. All those in favor say aye. Okay.
Aye.
Congratulations, and your junior high amendment request has been approved. And we will go ahead and move to the last item on our action agenda, which is an amendment request for the Hot Springs High School. So,
Are we approving both those together with the voting sheet?
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, we can do both those. I think we can do both of those at the same time.
Okay.
Since it's the same district, I mean, this is, if I'm understanding correctly, Ms. McLaughlin, this is just now for the high school, correct? Yes. Okay, we'll let you go ahead and, but we can record our votes at the same time.
Okay. Okay, item 5 is Hot Springs World Class High School. On November 19th, 2015, the Charter Authorizing Panel approved the application for the high school. The charter is approved to serve students in grades 9 through 12 with a maximum enrollment of 1,200. And we do have Ms. Eccles here to make the presentation, and also Kylie Sims, principal.
Okay, Ms. Eccles, you're recognized.
So consistent on what I talked to you all about with the configurations for the junior academy, we're just looking to change the charter configurations for the high school to 10-12 from 9-12 to keep the fluid campus that we have. So it'll be 2 separate campuses, but they're fluid beside each other. But we need to change the configurations for both 7-9 for the junior academy and 10-12 for the high school.
Okay, so your enrollment for the high school on the application, it looks like you've listed 1,200.
That was the maximum capacity at 9-12. So right now we have about 950 students, 9-12. So that will go down some once we move a grade level to the junior academy.
Okay.
It'll go down about 250 students.
Okay, so when Dr. Williams asked that question a minute ago, and it made me catch that. So on the junior high maximum enrollment, you had 600 listed on the application. Is that going to be sufficient for the junior high numbers?
We have about 450 right now. 470 now. To add 250 more, we probably will have to change that.
Ms. Hyatt, I just noticed that. I think maybe that was something on the application that maybe didn't get changed because the high school number stayed at 1,200 and the junior high, if I'm not mistaken, 600. So I don't want them to get it caught into a situation where we've approved something that.
What I think the cleanest thing to do would be go ahead and hear the high school and vote on the high school, and then we can go back and add an enrollment increase to the middle school through a separate motion,
Okay.
if that needs to be done.
Okay. Sorry we didn't catch that
That's
a minute
okay.
ago when Dr. Williams
Well, we
was
should have caught
asking
that
that
coming in.
question. So, okay, let's look at, do you have any questions then about the high school?
No, I don't.
No questions? Okay. Dr. Williams, did you have a high school question?
Sorry, I was on mute. No, no questions for the high school. It flows in line with the junior high request.
Okay. All right, very good. If Ms. Kaufman looks like she may have something we need to look at.
Deborah Kaufman, Public School Accountability. Just for the record, we did send an email to Superintendent Niehaus and said that with the change from 7-8 to 7-9, that there is a potential accountability impact for both Hot Springs Junior High Academy and Hot Springs World Class High School, because there potentially can be a graduation rate now at the junior high because of the 9th grade class. We received a response that, yes, I fully understand the accountability changes that will take place.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so since we don't have any questions, I will entertain a motion to approve the amendment request for the high school. Mr. Rogers made a motion to approve.
Second?
And a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
congratulations, it's unanimously approved. So now let's go back to the junior high request.
Mary Claire Height with the division. I don't think you need to rescind your previous action. I think if the representatives from the school will just tell you what they need their enrollment increase to look like, you can just make a motion to approve the enrollment increase as they state.
Okay, do you have a request for us?
Yes, so we would like to request to increase the number to 800
Okay,
from the 600 that it's currently at.
okay. Are there any questions or discussion about the request to increase the numbers at the junior high to accommodate the LEA change? Okay, no questions? Do I have a motion to approve?
Yes, I have a question. I'm sorry. It took me a minute for the thing through this. Now, you're moving the ninth grade is coming down to the junior high. Never mind. I was thinking the opposite. No question.
Okay, keep us in check, Dr. Williams. Okay, so if there aren't any questions, do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
all right. We have unanimous approval, and thank you for being here, and thanks everyone for helping us to think through. We'll go ahead and record responses for both item A4 and A5 in the online system.
Do we need to note anything on these for that approval?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Do we need to notate any of that on our voting sheet for the last piece?
If you can enter for all three motions, just one response, that'll be fine. That covers all three since it was part of the same kind of plan.
Okay, we'll just let each panel member speak to all three motions that we just approved. That way you don't have to talk 3 different times. So, Dr. Kramers?
I approve all 3 motions, no concerns for the reconfiguration for the best flow of students within your facilities.
Mr. Rogers?
I voted for all 3 motions. I had no concerns this time with them.
Ms. Newton?
I also voted to approve, with the explanation being the refiguration request served to positively affect educational access.
And Dr. Williams?
Support all 3 motions. The amendment allows the district flexibility needed for the 9th grade student education.
Okay, well, congratulations, and I know you're looking forward to the new facilities, and we look forward to those opportunities for your students. Okay, so that was the last item on our agenda, is that correct? Okay. I wanted to check with panel members. I know, I think it was in November, Ms. Webb, when you provided the update on open enrollment charters and overall performance. I don't know that we ever did kind of a report on district conversion charters, so I was going to check with the panel members to see if there was interest in, at our next meeting, just kind of getting an overview with district conversion charters like we'd had with the open enrollments. Is that something you would like them to prepare? Okay.
Yes.
So it does look like that is something. Is there, were you comfortable with the format from the last time, or is there additional information that you would find to be helpful?
It was helpful. No suggestions. I think that was.
Okay. All right. And again, it can be a, kind of a high-level overview, but it just gives us some thoughts as to whether or not, what questions we might have or things we might need to consider for future district conversion requests. So, okay. Ms. Webb, when is our next meeting, and what do we need to be thinking about?
Tracy Webb Charter Unit. Our next meeting is scheduled for March 17th. I don't know that we've always had a March meeting, so it may be that we do not need to have one in March and we can move to April.
Okay.
Currently, I don't think we have anything that's been submitted for the meeting requests.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and leave the March meeting on the schedule for now. At what point would we decide whether or not, for ease of people making other plans if needed?
Yeah, if we haven't had anything submitted by this week, I would think it would be okay to cancel that meeting and wait till April, if
Okay.
anything else.
So you'll just be in touch with us as if there's going to be any change to the March date.
I will.
Okay? So does that sound good to everyone? Okay. All right. Is there any other business that we need to consider today? Okay. Well, if not, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay. Got a motion and a second, and I'm assuming all are in favor?
Yes.
Okay. If anyone is opposed, please let me know. All right. Thank you. We are adjourned.